There we go. Hello. Okay.
Are we live?
We are. So.
Can I just put my paper?
Yeah, you can get a new paper if you want.
Yeah. We're just gonna drop yours in.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm bringing it up right now.
Your arms on your chair fold up.
No.
Hey, be quiet. Emery's sleeping.
Mic check. Ooh, we got people already. Is the whole family there? Travis is right here. I'm right here. Elena is out of frame today. And Emery's sleeping. All right.
I'm gonna be doing where she's like, "Oh, is my elbow in your way?" Nice. That's not gonna work.
That's fine. So we're drawing Batgirl today, you guys.
I'm gonna try and do a pretty dynamic pose when they're like jumping out at you.
I'm doing mine slightly angled, so she's not gonna be straight on.
Ooh, scary.
Scary. So, how is your guys' day going? We are doing great. We went to the comic book store.
Yeah, that was really fun. We got some cool blank covers to draw on. How do I want to do this arm? Do I want it coming out like this or kind of tucked into her side like that? I can't decide. Should I have it coming out? Yeah, I'll have it coming out like this. It's going to be a scary pose. Taking some risks here. Shoulder needs to kind of come in next to her face.
Let's see, what are people saying? So are you guys drawing along with us?
Well, we didn't give them much notice, right?
I did on my Twitter. Give them a little bit of notice. But they probably don't follow my Twitter.
How's yours coming, Bug?
Good.
Good? So you're drawing Batgirl, you're drawing Bumblebee?
We got Elena a Bumblebee comic, right?
Well, she was in it. It's not Bumblebee. And it's Bumblebee like from the little girls comic. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's like Justice League kind of young girls edition.
It's actually DC superheroes.
Superhero girls.
Superhero girls, yeah. I am using a 4H lead today, so it's a little bit lighter than the pencil I used last time if you watched that live video. So it might be kind of hard to see. I don't know what I did with my other mechanical pencil, but this is the one I normally draw with. But I'm going to do it in pen and ink since it's Inktober still.
I have Lady Gaga stuck in my head.
That's because I was singing.
You were? Okay. Are you drawing on the back of your sketchbook?
Who, me?
No, he's not.
No, that's the back sketchbook. Actually, this is my last page in this sketchbook, though. Drawing eraser. I don't like this arm so far.
So you guys started watching Stranger Things. Me and Travis are on episode 5.
Don't
Well, we
talk about anything that
do not
would
spoil. Do not spoil.
Yeah,
But we're on well, we're gonna watch episode 6 tonight.
yeah. I love that show.
I'm not a
It's
binge
awesome.
watcher, Travis is, but I like to savor my shows, you know? Like, I like to watch them slowly so they're not, like, over with really fast. You guys binge watch? Travis gets mad at me because I only watch, like, 2 a night, and he gets really mad.
This one hasn't been so bad, though, because you've been really into it.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said they saw it all already.
I would have, but I have to.
I like to savor them.
No, it's fine. I appreciate taking my time on it. I don't know. What do you think about this pose?
Well, that's great. Somebody did decide to spoil it. I won't tell you what it says, though, babe.
Okay, thanks.
It's kind of rude. I hope you know that. I hate when people do that.
Yeah, just gotta not talk about things like that.
Oh, yeah. I actually learned my lesson. I never am going to do Bachelor updates on my Snapchat anymore. I've done it 3 seasons in a row, and every season somebody spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
Like, really? You're gonna be that person?
Yoink.
Is it her kneecap supposed to be a little bit bigger? Oh, they were joking. Good. I said they haven't finished it yet. How's it coming, bud? Ooh, hoo, hoo. Ooh.
Does it turn out good?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm doing poses like this, I'm not looking at anything. I'm just like kind of moving the arms around and everything how I think it might look good. This is kind of like a trial and error type style of coming up with poses. Generally, it's I don't know. I don't know how often I come up with successful ones this way. It's a lot easier just to move around one of these guys, but I didn't. So, or my app. Actually, I can't show you the app right now, but I have a little 3D app that gives you a character kind of like this guy, and you can move the pose all around. I think it's called Art Pose, and then there's Art Pose FE, which is like a female version of it. So let me get this arm right. I don't know if I'm for shortening it enough, the angle, because I want her kind of like holding onto her rope or something.
That looks really nice, bud. So you guys have any questions today for us that we can answer for you guys? If not, that's fine. We can just draw, chit chat. But
We just felt inspired today because we went to the comic store and there was lots of awesome artwork, so wanted to have an art party, right?
yep.
We need to figure out a way so that when we do these, we can, and you guys want to draw along, we can post your artwork as well. I was thinking about doing it with like Facebook or something.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe you guys could draw Batgirl and we can post them on Travis's Facebook. That'd be kind of fun.
Can I start a group? Like you have a group, right?
I started a group because nobody was getting my updates on my fan
Maybe I
page.
should turn my Facebook into a group page.
I don't know if it's any better, but
I don't like the arm like that. Maybe come back like this.
Is there a way to get hard copy comic books that say they are digital on Marvel's website? Do you get that question?
Hard copy comic books. I mean, they make annuals and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I would assume. I always just buy, the monthly editions of comics and stuff. So I have a few hard copies. Generally, the hard copies tend to be like one-offs or something. I don't know. Oh, are they asking about? I get what they're asking. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. Sorry. So that's kind of a corny pose, but whatever. Yeah, it is. It's not natural enough. I think I need to either change your head shape or do something there. I don't know. Not liking it very much. It's silly.
So I've been trying to work on with my drawings is making the heads not so big. My biggest problem for the longest time was making humongous heads. Remember that?
Yeah.
And even when I would try not to do it, I still would do it. So I'm really, really trying now to make the shoulders bigger, to make the heads more a little more natural size.
Anatomically correct.
Yeah. I mean, mine are stylized anyways, but
God, I'm just not feeling this one today. So we just sat down and started drawing. One thing I found that helps me a ton do better drawing is when I'll do something like this a few times. Maybe I'll do some sketches and stuff, and then the third or fourth drawing tends to be the good one. This one's horrible so far. Ugh. I wish I would have gotten that pose. I wish I would have nailed it first try, but it's just not happening.
Well, I like it.
Well, thanks, Bug. I'm glad you like it.
where did my eraser go? Oh, you're using it.
I think I'm going to have her just kind of flying out with her arms out. So I'm totally starting over again. Or not completely over, but I'm going to do my best to make this not suck so bad.
Have you considered doing art for kids? Let me ask that question.
Doing art for kids, like storybooks and stuff. I did a storybook for my daughter, like a children's book. But yeah, I mean, kids art is fun. I think I don't ever really. It would be really hard for me just to focus on one thing. I wish I could sometimes, but I like to do so many different types of art that I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I've done kids art. I did a coloring book in college for children's safety.
Oh, for that police department.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
You guys want to see Buggy so far? So awesome. She's looking at her comic book and drawing by looking, right? It's awesome, Bug. How much time would you say you guys dedicate to drawing within a week on average?
Probably I try and draw an hour a day at least. So, 7 days a week, 7 hours, somewhere around there. Probably more though. I probably draw 10 hours a week, I would guess. What do you think?
Me, I'm not as good as Travis. I go through drawing spurts where I'll draw a ton, and then I'll take really long breaks. It just depends on if I'm really inspired or not. I've always kind of been like that when I draw. But when I get really inspired and I'm like feeling like I really want to draw, I can draw a ton in a week. It just depends.
Yeah, and it depends on my projects. If I do a video or something like that, obviously that goes up quite a bit, how many hours I draw. That's just my daily sketches that you guys see me post on Instagram and stuff. So if I do bigger projects or something like that, I definitely draw more. Okay, I'm hoping that if I do the arms at an angle like this, it'll give me a little bit more movement. Because right now, this is just really static. So let's see if that will help. Kind of like she's, whoa, just shot my pencil across the room. But you can kind of see that, you know, this pose I'm doing has morphed at least a few times
I
since
finished it.
we started the video.
I finished it.
You did?
Ooh, she has wings.
Yeah, see?
That's neat. Ooh, bug. It's awesome.
There we go. I'm gonna have this kind of, so the line has got slack in it, so she's holding the
Keep
line in
stealing
this
my
one.
erase.
Sorry. I had mine somewhere. I think it slipped under a thing.
I need to look at a Batgirl so I know what a Batman logo looks like.
She has a different one. Bug's got the
Oh, she
comic
does?
book right there.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is a little. Okay. Let's see. Did you name your kid Bug? No, we did not. Her name is Elena, but when she was born, we called her Laney Bug, and then it kind of morphed into Bug, and now we call her Bug all the time.
Well, my friend Katie, she is called Katie Bug and Bug. So
a lot of parents, we're very unoriginal. There's a lot of little bugs out there, I think. Okay, so the arms helped a ton. I really like that now. I'm gonna have her head kind of looking down, so like this. I'm spending more time on the pose this time around than I did on that Hulk one. If you guys watched that video, I blew through that one real quick. I just went with the first pose I came up with. But this is generally more how I work when I want actually to do a decent drawing. You saw me kind of change her arms multiple times and kind of figure out, you know, and a lot of times this stuff would just be multiple sketches if I really wanted to do a good drawing, just to figure out the pose that I wanted. But sometimes I just like to morph the pose and see what kind of happens. The only issue with this pose currently is I want her hips to be more at an angle, just to give it her body a little bit of a twist in it. So it's like an S twist, kind of like this, like it's coming swooping around like that, and that'll really make it more dynamic, I think. So I'm gonna push her hips out to the left. So you'd have creases right here, hip kind of coming out like that. This hip is gonna come straight down. So there we go. Kind of like that. You see that bend that happens there? Has what?
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm drawing her body.
Oh. There we go. Liking a lot more. So again, adding another angle there. Let's see. Do I want this leg straight out? I'm going to bend this one back. And this one. There we go. That's so much better. Look at that. That's a lot better, huh?
Yeah, looks good. Somebody came here from just watching Draw with Jazza.
Oh, nice. Is he drawing live?
Let's see here. So her arm needs to go like that. There we go. I need to change her thing now.
Okay. That one coming up too. Straight. could have it come out. Maybe I'll do that. Keep stealing your eraser, so I don't have to.
It's right here.
Oh, that's a big one.
You don't have to erase. There's like big erase marks.
I'm doing a lot of erasing today.
It's
Boom.
2:50 a.m. Wanted to sleep, but not anymore.
Staying up just for us? Awesome.
Okay, so
There.
move this over a little bit.
Okay. Okay. I like this pose now. I'm gonna go with this one.
Doll right next to me.
You like that pose?
Yeah, that's cool.
Very dynamic. Cool. Okay.
Okay.
So I feel like out of all my videos, that
Usually don't
little
do it.
thing right here that I just did, if you guys watch me do this, that is more in line with how I generally come up with drawings.
Can't draw her again.
I didn't want to rush today. Sometimes I feel like I rush and you guys don't get a real good idea of actually how a drawing kind of comes to form for me.
Okay. I remember she has a headband.
Okay.
All I
Let's,
can remember.
I guess I could just dive right into her face. I don't want to do a whole lot of details. I'm gonna put one of the comic books up.
My comic book?
No, there's another one over here, isn't there?
Where?
There was two of them.
Oh, that's one.
Oh, is it? Do we leave it in the car?
Well,
I'll just look at this one, I guess. He gave us two. Oh, there it is. And I like to change the characters quite a bit to my liking, but I like to have a point of reference a little bit, so this will help you too. There.
Showing Supergirl.
Sorry, I'm bumping you.
yeah.
Oh, nice. that was terrible of me. I would have been angry.
At my Supergirl.
Why can't I draw her freaking logo?
Okay. So now I'm just gonna be a risk taker and go all ink on the details. Let's hope it turns out okay.
Whatever. Oh, whatever.
Well, I have a doll right here, so I can do her whatever pose I want. I could do whatever pose I want because I have my Supergirl doll. Want her being like this. Yeah, this is what I'm going for. Wait. Okay, I have to keep her right here. So. I'm doing a lot of drawing. One, two, three, four.
What do you think? What needs fixed?
Huh?
What needs fixed?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I think it's looking pretty dang good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Supergirl. Looking great. And her little necklace. She has a necklace. Girl does. Little DC superhero doll does. So, copying my superhero doll.
I don't know. She has like hair coming out the back of her helmet in some outfits, doesn't she?
Yeah. I feel like her costume's boring.
No, it isn't.
I don't think so.
There's Supergirl and almost.
She has like pouches.
Mom, I don't know what superhero what Supergirl shoes look like in DC.
Do you guys believe that everyone can draw, or you are born with a gift? Is it talent or practice? I think someone kind of asked this last show. I think it's both. I think that there's people that are kind of a little more on the creative, artistic side of the scale. And I think it also has to do with how passionate you are about it, how much you practice.
It's how much you practice, and it's because here's the thing is, like anything, it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination and practice to get that hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
And so the talent comes from really enjoying it, just like anything. You really have to like really enjoy drawing to do it enough to get good at it. And the cool thing about drawing or anything really is the better you get at it, the more enjoyable it is, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, like for me, for instance, for myself, um, in the last couple of years, I feel like I'm more able to just sit down and draw like this, like just any pose I want, mess around with it until I see something I like, and then just use my imagination, which is where I get most of the enjoyment for drawing that I get. It comes from my imagination and the things I can visualize and bring to life. So, the better you get, the more things like that can start to happen, and the more you enjoy it, which means you draw even more. And then, so it's kind of like a snowball effect, I think. And then positive reinforcement, having people tell you, hey, you're really good at that. I really enjoy, your drawings and things like that. That kind of stuff really helps build someone's desire to draw too, I think. You like drawing because people enjoy your drawings, right, Bug?
Yep.
You love making people happy, huh?
Yep.
Are you guys using her rebirth costume?
Um,
I'm just kind of making up a costume.
yeah.
So I've seen her head like this with the hair coming out of the back.
So this is the reference we're all using. It's my daughter's, she got a free comic book today. So this is the costume I'm looking at, but I didn't do the hair. I'm doing like the full face mask, kind of like Kara is doing. But I think I'm gonna have hair coming out the back. So it'll be a little bit different. Which one, are you drawing this one, Bug? The one from the comic?
Yes, I drew all DC. All my pictures DC.
I think a lot of people have an artistic perspective that gives them a bit of a boost and makes them a bit better at first, but anyone can draw well with enough practice. Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that, yeah. Because I've known engineers that could draw really well. People that you wouldn't consider like creative minded people or whatever. So I think, yeah, I definitely agree with that. There's no type of person, I think, that draws super well. I think anybody can draw.
I
That's
think
what-
some people might be able to pick it up quicker, but just
Well, there's all kinds of different art forms too. Some people are really good at painting, I've seen.
Like mommy's favorite.
Since I grew up practicing doing just line work and pencil drawings my whole life, I definitely pick up pencil related type stuff a lot quicker, but I still struggle with paints, oil paints, anything like that.
should I outline?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
definitely.
didn't outline last time.
Do it. It'll probably, show up better too.
I said, I love that you guys draw together. That's really nice to see. We actually don't draw together often.
We are now because of these videos.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big reasons I started doing these is I wanted to draw with Elena. I wanted to make her part of the videos and stuff. Because you love doing this, huh, Elena?
Mm-hmm.
Super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And, editing videos and takes a lot of time and stuff. And I just wanted to make sure I was spending as much time as I could, helping her grow as well as, having this channel. Because I really enjoy doing the channel as well.
I feel like I've had too much coffee today.
Are you
I'm, like,
shaking?
I can always tell.
Okay. Well, her helmet or her mask that I've drawn, I can tell you right now, it's a little bit bigger than I intended. I have her hair kind of swooping around like this. But I don't mind it. She has long hair kind of coming out the back. And I'm not using a brush pen today, guys, if you're curious about that. I'm using one of these Micron pens, but I'll switch to a brush pen once I get all this stuff done. So I drew the hair in, and then okay, so I messed up. Dang it. I gotta figure out how to fix this. Let's see, how do I want to, because I wanted her to have a cape, and her hair has to be over the top of her cape.
Oh.
So, no, I'll figure it out. Drawing is all about problem solving.
What does Bob Ross say?
It was a happy accident.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a happy one at this point, though.
Work ethic and self-improvement advice.
Work ethic and self-improvement advice.
Well, Travis, I know Travis. It's something that you really have to work at. When you decided that you were going to draw every single day at your lunch break,
Yeah.
and you've seen a huge improvement in your artwork, but, making that choice and doing it, made a huge difference.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's all about establishing a routine for me. Once I did that, once I made it part of my daily life, I feel like anything though, not just drawing, like any improvement. I play a lot of basketball too, like making sure you have a schedule that you keep. So it's not something you have to sit down and say, oh, I got to remember to do this today. It's just something you do automatically. If you can ever make it that for yourself, that is going to help you so much more than anything. Okay, so she's got, I wanted her bat string to be coming out like that. But it's real loose because she hasn't tightened it yet.
I'm like really shaky.
She has like yellow boots. Okay. Now I got to figure out how to do this cape. Any suggestions on how I should do this cape? I can either cover up the hair somehow, like have the cape come through here like this. Maybe I'll sketch it with pencil. Maybe you guys can help me decide. So the cape should be kind of, because she's moving, she's like flying out at us. So the cape should be pushing her hair off her back a little bit. Unfortunately, I didn't plan that ahead. So if I were to draw her cape like this, kind of comes through here, around the back. But she has a shorter cape.
Somebody said, "Who is Elena drawing as well? Can she show her results so far?" Let's show yours, Elena.
Me and lots. And I'm also, I also have my DC superhero dog.
She's using this here. She's got this. Awesome. She's got, ooh, who's that?
That's Supergirl.
Supergirl. Is that Bumblebee?
Yes, but I forgot to do Bumblebee's wing.
Oh, it's okay. And then Batgirl. Good job.
Cape should be.
Do you think it's better to make a habit of drawing frequently rather than just wait for inspiration?
No. If I did that, I would never draw. Or I'd like have tons of space in between any time I ever drew, because sometimes it's like I have to force myself to draw. It is definitely something that does not just happen because I want it to. If that makes sense, it's really difficult.
Honestly, one thing that's helped me draw more is like listening to podcasts and stuff like that. Like, because I can't listen to podcasts and stuff and then like not do anything. Like, it's just weird. Like, I feel like I have to be doing something with my hands. So if you guys find like a good podcast that you really enjoy listening to or something, that's a really good way to like practice drawing in general, or maybe like audiobooks.
I have noticed that you tend to draw along to YouTube videos too.
Yeah, like if I'm just listening to like a story or like an audiobook or a podcast. Like I have to be doing something, so it just makes me draw.
I'm still trying to figure out how to draw this cape, guys. There we go. Okay. I'm doing it like that. I'm deciding. It's gonna come out here like this.
That wasn't important.
Swoop around like that.
Yeah, but she's probably shopping.
And I'm gonna shadow this in right here, so we'll pretend that that hair isn't there. I'll use my brush pen to darken that in with all black. Okay, so this is a nice little sketch. I am going to, actually, I'm gonna draw her. I'm gonna give her a bat logo right there.
I think
He said, "Wow, Elena did a great job." He said they liked it.
I don't know what I want to
Okay, there we go.
I forgot.
Now I'm busting out the brush pen. This one this is a brand new brush pen. And I got this at an art store for a conference I was at because I needed a pen. And this one has a lot more ink flow than my other one that I've been using. So it's kind of nice. It's good and it's bad.
Careful, don't draw me.
So one thing I'll do is sometimes I'll ignore some of my lighter lines and just go right over the top. And like this line right here, I felt like it made her ribs a little bit too far out, so I'm ignoring that. Because it doesn't have to be perfect.
Mom said it has to be perfect.
No, I didn't.
No, art doesn't have to be perfect,
It's
especially
all
when
about practicing, hun.
especially when you're just having fun. It's important. The most important thing is just have fun, bud. Really enjoy your art.
She did say that.
Are you having fun?
Yep.
I think we need music or something. Except for we'd get copyrighted, huh?
Probably.
Gotta go to school. Bye. Bye. Have fun at school.
I should have did this first.
Is your job related to your love of drawing?
Mine?
Yeah.
I don't get to draw at my job very much.
Sometimes.
It's super rare. But I am a designer, so I do creative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I could draw more for sure. So when I'm drawing like this, when I'm using a brush pen, I try not see these lines on the inside. I don't like to make those all dark and stuff, just the outside lines and the weight lines. So lines where like they might be in heavy shadow, like on her ribs underneath here, or if they're standing on the ground, like where the weight of their body rests, I'll use really thick lines. But for the inside lines, like detail lines, muscle lines, things like that, I try and leave those real thin. If there's a part of her armor or whatever that's really bulky, like the edges of these gloves and stuff, and I wanna show them kind of sticking out off the outfit, I'll make those a little bit heavier as well.
This would have been a cool pose too. I should have done this pose.
What, Bun?
I should have done this pose on one of my superheroes.
Where?
There.
Oh, yeah, she's flying through the sky.
But she's jumping.
Aw. Damn, watching you guys makes me feel terrible. Don't feel terrible. I always watch artists and I feel the same way. There's always going to be somebody that you look up to or you feel like you want to be as good as or whatever, but
Yeah, that never changes. I'm sure there's even
Yeah, sometimes
artists
it
that are just
happens to me too.
yes, happens to us all.
Now,
yep.
did I draw myself? I think I just drew
I think if you
myself.
do that, it's really easy to get discouraged. That's why it's so important just to focus on having a good time when you draw.
But it's good because it motivates you. I
It
know when I look
motivates you.
at people that I really look up to, I'm like, dang. And it helps you with ideas and
Yeah, but sometimes, because like for me, I'm just like, oh, I will never be that good. I will never be that good at drawing as certain people I looked up to, and there's definitely times where it's really easy to get discouraged. You just gotta like fight through it, or not fight through it. You just I don't know. You just gotta realize that art is something for you. If you enjoy it, stick at or keep at it.
Look at how shaky my lines are. That's what I mean. I didn't even drink that much coffee today.
I'm gonna do the underside of her cape and then completely fill that in.
Kara, would you ever consider collabing with another artist? I'm not sure what you mean by collabing. If you mean like doing a video or something, or like, I'm not sure what you mean, but I don't do a lot of art on YouTube only because
She lacks confidence.
I do. I lack confidence.
So I always try and tell her, I go, sometimes, especially with art, you just got to put yourself out there. There's better artists, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
and one thing that I've always done with my art is I've always just tried to keep it kind of for me. Like I do it when it makes me happy. I don't over put pressure on myself, and I think doing YouTube and doing art on YouTube, I would feel this pressure to do it, and like, I don't know, I've always kind of wanted to keep art. It's just something fun, a hobby, something that I can just really enjoy on my own terms.
and that's kind of why we were doing these videos though, because these are just fun to do. And if people don't like them, it's not that big of a deal to us. It's like,
Do you have like a skinny black one? Like the skinny black kind?
skinny black.
Not this
guy.
one, but the one that's like a,
There's this one.
no, like skinny.
I don't. I have this one, but
Yeah,
that's
that-
brown.
Oh.
But you could use it. I used it.
Except this one, but it's not very good.
What happens when somebody says it's somebody's birthday and you made a really good picture and they say, maybe you could give that picture to them when you don't want to?
Oh, so if you did a drawing you really like and people want you to give it away, but you don't want to, you don't have to. It's your drawing.
Yeah, just say, well, I'm gonna keep this one, but I'll draw another one for you.
Yeah.
Well, it happened to me and I just gave it away because I knew I could draw that same picture.
Well, that's nice of you. That's the nice thing about art is it makes people happy,
Okay. How'd that turn out? Not too bad. It's all right.
Okay, enough on the hair. You want to show yours again?
Yes.
Here you go.
I
That's so
Adding
nice.
colors.
Look at that, the bent leg.
Yeah.
Nice bug. It's awesome.
So this one's, I don't know. It's all right. I just, also somebody asked me not too long ago to do the pencil drawing stuff because I'm definitely a lot better at pencil than I am at pen and ink. I enjoy pen and ink, but the reason I'm doing so much pen and ink lately is because of Inktober. So eventually I'll switch back to doing my pencil stuff. But because of this month and everything, it's been a lot of fun just messing around with inks. her kind of smiling. Because that girl's got a little bit of attitude, right?
The food already. You forgot about it.
Okay. What do you think?
Ooh, looks good, Will.
Daddy, like my
Arms are a little bit beefy, but whatever. She's a superhero.
Mine's alright.
Do you like it?
Mine's kind of boring, but I like it. Yeah,
Let me
yours
see.
is really good, bud.
What do you think of mine, Bug?
Nice.
Do you like it?
Yep. I made tons of drawings.
Let me see. Okay. Thanks for all the content, Travis. You gave me a lot of inspiration, especially back in middle school, 2015. I used to try to replicate your robot characters. Aw.
I love my robot characters.
I like Travis's goblins. They're my favorite.
Goblins?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's your guys' view on doing one polished drawing, which is usually more fun, opposed to doing studies and sketches, which is usually less fun and even boring at times?
One polished drawing can be very rewarding. I love finishing a really good drawing. One that I had time to spend like 8 hours on or something like that. But the sketches, I feel like I learn more from the sketches than I do the polished drawings. This is something that, especially in recent years, I've definitely come to realize is drawings where I'll just do pages of illustrations and stuff. I learn more from those and I get better at drawing from those than I do from doing one like 4-hour pencil drawing where I render everything out. Rendering is a lot of fun, but it's just like anything. Like if I'm drawing poses all over the page, I'm learning more and more about, the anatomy of the body. If I'm doing references, rendering takes a really long time, but you got to make sure with rendering that, like for me, this is a fault that I have, is sometimes I will just render from my head and shade things and things like that. But what I need to start doing more of is render from light sources, if that makes sense. Getting actual lighting, so that, because I feel like that's a big difference in like artists, veteran artists, and really cool finished work is having a real sense of light source with your shading and stuff. So getting rid of all my pencil lines. But anyway, what do you think? Is that
They
pretty
said
fun?
Buggy wins. I agree. Buggy, you win.
Buggy always wins. That is a really awesome Wonder Woman.
I
We need to show that one
know.
again.
I know.
The melon for where's my
All right. So I think that we are done, right?
Where did
Let's show Elena's
Let's
one
show
more
all
time.
3 of them. Can fit right there in the middle.
well put my
Why
back?
isn't it showing up?
Well, what about
Is it
my
really
back
that
girl?
delayed?
But
It's
my
delayed.
back girl, my back girl.
Oh.
This is the actual one.
I like this one the best. Let's do this one. All right.
That Batgirl's cool though.
Yeah, this Batgirl.
Let's do Batgirl.
Since it's Batgirl drawings.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So here's our finished drawings. Simple, fun.
Where is the lid?
Okay.
So hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know if you want us to do more of these.
Yeah. This was another fun. Like, you guys need to understand. Like, Elena, how much fun did you have today doing art party?
Amazing.
Amazing, right?
You really wanted
It's like
to do this.
super fun.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to do in the future, and I've been talking about and just talking. Jeez, our dog is sneezing. I want to do like art groups, local art drawing groups like this, where I can get together with like a bunch of local illustrators and do sessions like this live. I think that would be a lot of fun. But we're going to continue to do these because Elena loves them, and I hope it inspires you guys to do stuff like this. But I'd really also like to figure out a way to do like so that other people can show us their artwork too.
Yeah.
That
Do
would
you
be
guys want to
super
see
fun.
mine from last week? Mine turned out really good last week. I finished it.
Oh yeah, that's right. They didn't get to see the finished one.
Does that one look good? I was proud of this one. I really ended up liking that one.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And
So,
I think I'm gonna actually upload a real video or a edited video this week. I'm gonna do my Inktober sketchbook, which is a bunch of. I finished this sketchbook, so that'll be in there. But anyway, this was a fun thing to do on a Sunday.
yeah. Now I'm going to go read my book because I'm really enjoying my book.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching.